Hey, this is Bill Steffen. Boy, a lot on my mind here as we tape this. First of all, I'm back from my vacation. I was gone 10 days up in the Canadian Rockies, and I saw a snowstorm on July the 22nd in the middle of summertime. We're driving up from Lake Louise, and we're going up over the pass where the glacier is there, the Columbia ice field. And we have rain, and it's getting colder and colder. And finally, the rain mixes with snow, and then it turns to snow. And they picked up about 4 inches of snow there. I mean, fortunately, it melted on the road, but it certainly accumulated on everything else. Just really bizarre to see that on July the 22nd. All right, the other big story is the earthquake that's going on now, and that is pretty incredible. First, welcome to our affiliate viewers from the Ottawa News Network, and all of you who are joining us here. A picture from Sally, and thanks so much for sending that in. I need to get to Lake Michigan. I really do. It's those pretty sunsets like that. We got the Coast Guard parade coming up on Saturday. I think we're going to mention that a little bit later on in the presentation here. But first time I was in that parade was 1975, and it's going to be kind of interesting. I'm kind of disassociated now with Wood TV8, though I'm still, my loyalties are there. But last year I got to ride in a solar-powered golf cart. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just sit on the curb and watch the parade go by this year. But I've got some friends over there, and it's always a lot of fun. Coast Guard Festival is a great time. All right, let's move on here. This is a horrible graphic, but I tried to put something together here. And the information is changing all the time. This is now up to an 8.8 magnitude earthquake. And if that magnitude holds, this is the sixth biggest earthquake ever measured. And it occurred in the Kamchatka Peninsula, which is in northeast Russia. It's a really cold place there in the wintertime, but not bad in the summer. The first depth I got was 46 miles, though there's some confusion on that. It might be only 16 miles. A tsunami has been generated. Right now it's past Midway Island, and as we tape this, it's heading toward Hawaii. They probably had bigger tsunamis in the past, but definitely a tsunami is coming. And I want to tell you that there's a huge traffic jam as people are trying to move from the coastal areas up into the higher elevations there. You don't have to go too terribly high. If you were to just climb in elevation, I think they're anticipating that they're saying that the tsunami in the Kamchatka Peninsula was about 4 meters, or about maybe 13 feet or so. And of course, it would funnel through the bay, and it might get a little higher than that. But it's not like you have to, travel 200 miles from the coast in order to find a safe place to be. There is a tsunami warning for Hawaii. And they've also issued a tornado, or not a tornado, but a tsunami watch for the West Coast. It's a warning from the Oregon-California border on down the coastline through Crescent City, Eureka, that area there, northwestern California. So I was watching some of the live coverage on KHON in Hawaii. That's the next star station there, and they seem to be doing a pretty good job. So if you want to know more about the earthquake and the tsunami, that'd probably be the first place that I would. I've got like 6 or 8 bookmarks up here. I've got the U.S. Geological Survey and all of that up here as well. So interesting. Very severe, very strong earthquake. Fortunately, in a very rural area, the Kamchatka Peninsula is very sparsely populated. And if it's the magnitude holds at 8.8, it would tie for 6th greatest earthquake since we started measuring them. So very interesting. All right, let's move on and talk for weather a little bit. Once again today, and I've been talking about this a long time, look at the difference between Grand Rapids and Battle Creek. It's been colder, not colder, but cooler in Battle Creek because they've had so much rain there, and the sun is working on evaporating water. Whereas up in Grand Rapids, it's, at least where I am, it's bone dry. And then the sun's energy can be put pretty much solely toward heating the air. And it was kind of interesting landing in the plane coming in to Grand Rapids, where we had a 90-degree temperature at the ground level. But as you were higher up, that temperature really dropped quickly. A mile above ground, the temperature was much cooler, and that's the case. Other high temperatures, Big Rapids, Benton Harbor at 90, Kalamazoo at 89. The South Haven Lighthouse made 85, and that's really a warm day. It's very seldom they get warmer than 85 at the beach locations here. Holland Beach was 81, and they reached their high temperature for the day at 10:30 in the morning. And then the wind picked up coming in off the water. The temperature fell back into the upper 70s and pretty much stayed there all day. Muskegon Beach, 80 degrees. If you walked out to the end of the pier, it was 1 degree cooler out there today. All right, up next, let's see. We have the lake forecast here. Wind's going to turn around and start coming out of the northeast and northwest. And that may cause water temperatures to go down here over the next couple of days. So if you like warm water, probably get out early here today and do some swimming, because water temperatures will likely drop here by the end of the week. Not drastically, but a little bit. Waves should be 1 to 2 feet. They may be fairly calm early. And the water temperatures are still warm, as you can see there. Duck Lake at 75, Muskegon State Park 74, Grand Haven State Park 73, Howland State Park 72. The South Haven buoy had 77 for a water temperature, and that's right at the surface. Benton Harbor down there around Silver Beach was 78. Reed's Lake, look at that, 85 degrees. Now, again, the wind was light. We're measuring the water temperature right at the surface. If we had a stronger wind, that would mix up the water, bring up some cooler water from underneath, and that water temperature would drop. But that may be the peak of the summer. Pretty interesting. Okay, some severe weather today. We only have a level 1 marginal risk, and you can see there's 2 areas of that, one from Montana down to the Texas Panhandle, and another one that runs from Kansas City all the way to New England and the East Coast. Here in West Michigan, it's south of I-94, and the chance of a thunder shower is pretty much south of Grand Rapids. Once again, it looks like the more significant precipitation is going to be south of Grand Rapids. I've said for a month and a half now that somebody in Battle Creek's got a rain magnet, and it seems to be attracting all the showers and storms to come through that particular area. We'll move on to Thursday right now and show you the outlook. And again, you can see that marginal area is off to the south of us from Montana and North Dakota to the East Coast. Cooler air is pushing on down. If we get anything here on Thursday, it would be real early in the morning and essentially down toward the Indiana border. So Thursday and Friday and Saturday and probably Sunday look like dry days here in West Michigan. All right, we're going to take a little time out now to thank our sponsors, starting with Complete Care Concierge.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Here's a look at our sunrise and sunset time. We have lost 48 minutes of daylight since the solstice occurred back in the 3rd week of June, and the days are getting shorter now at the rate of about 2 minutes per day. The average high and low still up there at 83 and 63. That will start falling toward the first week of August, very slowly at first. I think our average high temperature is still in the mid-70s into early September here. Record high temperature for today, 101, and that was in 1916. The numbers there are kind of out of whack there. Just a second. Don't worry about that. Record low temperature was 50, and that occurred 3 times, 1956, 1965, and 2013. So again, keep an eye, watch the sun setting a little bit more toward the south here as we close out July and enter the month of August. And it's not July 18th, by the way. I forgot to change that. I've been on vacation. It is July the 30th today. All right, let's go on here, and we'll take a look at our rainfall total. This is the 66-hour rainfall map, and once again, it shows the heaviest rain going south of Grand Rapids. So if you're down toward I-94, the chance of rain later today and tonight at about 80%, in Grand Rapids 50 or 60%, and by the time you get up to US 10, the chance of rain may only be about 20 or 30%. Once again, the East Coast cities get a soaking. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York. They'll also be seeing some heavy rain here. More rain down in Florida and in New Mexico. What a rainy summer it's been there. Even into the southeast corner of Arizona, they should see some afternoon showers and thunder showers. We'll zoom into Michigan here a little bit and show you again the heavier rain. South of South Bend, that yellow color indicating 1.5 inches of rain over a 66-hour period. That would be mainly this evening through about real early Thursday morning. And as you get farther north, those green colors get lighter and lighter, indicating that there just won't be as much rain there once again. Okay, on to the tropics a little bit here. A lot of action in the eastern Pacific, but nothing in the western Atlantic. So if you've got some interest down in Florida, you don't have to worry. Next 7 days at least are going to be quiet. And it certainly was a quiet July in the Atlantic. We did pick up a couple of named storms, but they were very marginal tropical storms that were pretty much away from land. But look at the eastern Pacific. We have Hurricane Iona. We have Tropical Storm Kelly, Keli, and the next one developing. And I wrote down the name of what that was supposed to be, and I'm sure I'm not going to be able to find it because I got into the earthquake stuff here. But we'll get that out there for you. A letter L name, I think. But yeah, they've had the action there. Unfortunately, all of these storms are missing land areas here. You can see the storm that's off the coast of Mexico there will be traveling west and eventually falling apart. Iona and Kelly are pretty decent storms, and they will pass south of Hawaii. In fact, they're passing south of Hawaii now, very close together. You don't see them usually that close together, but that parade is in an area that has very little ship traffic, and no real cruise boats go in that area or anything like that. So if you have to have a tropical storm, that's a good place to put it. All right, on to the next one here. We've got a couple of tropical storms to talk about in the Western Pacific, none in the Indian Ocean. We have one, Komei, which is coming into near Shanghai, China, and it's a very minimal tropical storm, probably just a wave as it moves on shore. So while it'll be a wet, rainy, windy day in Shanghai, they won't be seeing any significant effects from that. And then the other one, which I'm having a hard time reading on this map, Crosa, maybe. It's like looking at the eye chart at the eye doctors. That storm is going to move toward Tokyo. And as soon as it gets to the coast, it's going to make a total right turn and move away from Japan. So somebody's got some rain repellent in Tokyo, and while they may see some rain and a little bit of, let me see, a breezy day there, it shouldn't be any significance there. So the world on average, weather-wise anyway, is pretty quiet right now. Or the main thing that we're dealing with, of course, is the earthquake and the tsunami. All right, let's take another look right here at the headlines. There'll be a chance of a shower or storm today. Best bet for a shower or storm would be later in the day, and that would be down to the south. If you're in Benton Harbor, Kalamazoo, you're definitely going to see some rain from this. Definitely more rain south than from Grand Rapids to the north. It will turn a little cooler and a little less, certainly less humid here by Thursday. So if you're tired of the heat and humidity here, That's going to break a little bit here, and especially at night, we're going to see a couple of nights with temperatures probably down in the mid to upper 50s here. And I could see a couple of really cool spots like Baldwin actually reaching the upper 40s here, maybe Thursday morning. Okay, on we go and look at today's weather. 83 degrees, the high temperature today. It may only be in the 70s north of Nuevo County today, so cooler air starting to come in. And you can see that over on the right side with that north to northeast wind. We haven't had too many days with that, but about 10 miles an hour, not terribly strong in the afternoon, but enough to maybe push that warmer water away from shore and cool off some of those water temperatures. Humidity down to 55%. That starts to drop. Mostly clear early morning here. That's our early morning temperature at 70 degrees when skies should be mostly clear to partly cloudy. Okay, what else we got here for you? High temperatures today. Low 80s around Grand Rapids, mid to even some upper 80s possible as you travel southeast over toward Detroit and Toledo. And look to the north, you can see the cooler air start to come in. 79, the high temperature at Mount Pleasant, 78 Houghton Lake, 77 Traverse City. And it may fall back into the low 70s, except for the fact that the water is so warm now. It's, the water temperature at the buoy, the mid-lake buoy I saw was 77. So the wind coming off that is not going to be real cold. 73, the high there at Milwaukee on the other side of the lake. And up in the UP, look at the temperatures in the upper 60s. The map on the right shows 66 around Grand Marais, 60, what would that be, 68 for Marquette. So that's interesting. Copper Harbor only had a high of 71 today with the north wind coming off Lake Superior. We'll move on to Thursday, and we've got 76 degrees for Greenville, probably 77, 78 for Grand Rapids, 75 for Holland. So pretty similar lakeshore to inland. In fact, it gives Ludington 79. With a northeast wind, Ludington would get a little bit of downslope. The higher elevations that are up by Cadillac Lake City, Boyne Mountain. And on a day like today, it may be a degree warmer in Ludington than it would be in even at the beach than it would be in Mount Pleasant. So interesting. And then along the Lake Superior shoreline, a very comfortable 70 degrees or thereabouts. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast, which I think is coming up next. Yep, chance of a shower or thunder shower here today. Best bet for any thunder would be south, but hopefully we'll get a little rain in my house. I came back, I'm gone for 10 days, and it looks like my grass hasn't grown at all. I don't really water it very much. My next door neighbor does, and it's really interesting because when his sprinkler comes off into my yard, my grass is like 1.5 feet high there, but over the main part of it here, it isn't. 77, 59 in the early morning Thursday, 54 for Friday morning. Very pleasant. Sunniest day will probably be Saturday. That's the big parade at the Coast Guard Festival. Take your sunblock along because you'll need it. Maybe a hat as well. Sunday by Sunday, temperatures do warm up back up into the mid 80s here. And the latest long range outlook calls for above normal temperatures here once again. So with just a slight cooling here for a few days, a couple of days, we're back up again into the above average category. We're probably not done with 90-degree days for the summer as of yet. And then the rainfall, as you can see, a little bit above average. And like I've been saying, that can be misleading because you can have above. If you were to average Battle Creek and Bill Steffen's house, you would have above average precipitation for the summer and the month. But you can see there's quite a wide disparity when you have convective rainfall here in the summertime. So that's what we got. Coast Guard Festival coming up today. There's Alex with us here. How you doing tonight?
Hi, Grants and Alex.
Yeah, I mentioned the Coast Guard Festival a couple times. Well, I stepped on your words there. What'd you say?
So it's the host when you were gone.
Yeah, the trip was fine, and I only saw a couple of your videos. I'm going to watch more of them, but when I'm on vacation, I'm kind of on vacation. I don't really watch weather like I normally do. So all of this stuff was going on Wednesday at the Coast Guard Festival?
Yep.
Wow, we got Bob Seeger. I like Bob
Tribute
Seeger.
band.
Michigan guy. he rides against the wind.
There they go
got a
up on
weather
the
song in there.
stage at the Coast Guard Festival and playing the star again.
Yep. Senior day. Hey, maybe I should go there today. Pickleball tournament, 50 plus. I certainly qualify there, but I'm no good at pickleball. Pickleball, it's really kind of, you really have to hope that you don't have a really windy day, because that can really affect a sport like badminton or, obviously even golf or baseball. Get Well Expo. I could use that. Fitness demonstration. They won't be for me, that's for sure. Though I really did a lot of walking. By the way, hey Alex, Gail and I, Graham and I had a tremendous run at O'Hare. It was like the movie. We were in terminal, was it 1 or 2? And we had to go from terminal 1 or 2 to terminal 2 or 1, whichever one was different. So we had to go through that tunnel through there, and they were boarding number 4, and when we showed up, and we just barely made our connection. So that was interesting. But you never saw 2 old coots move faster than we did.
I've had my share of tight layovers too, but
yep,
has to be sure to catch the old time rock and roll at the Coast Guard Festival before they turn the page.
Yes, you can take those old records right off the shelf. They were pretty good for ad-libbing. I know. Seeger sold out, I think, the last time he was here, 2 shows in Grand Rapids, so he's very popular. What do we got next? Padawatami Gathering 2025 underway. July 28th through August 2nd, meetings and activities, language conference, film screening, food and craft vendors, pool parties for kids, and the weather should be pretty good for that on Saturday especially. Sponsored by the Gun Lake Casino Resort, Hopkins Middle School, and at the Luella Collins Community Center. We're very happy, by the way, that the tribe lets us use their community center for one of the Skywarn meetings that we have in the springtime of the year to talk about severe weather. And somebody there even made cookies for everybody, and that was really special. But we certainly appreciate what they do for the community. Interesting. So the gathering is on here between now and August 2nd. Ada, Music on the Lawn, July 30th at 7 p.m. We hope they'll get that in. Legacy Park.
And speaking of tribute bands,
Neil Diamond.
Frog King, a Neil Diamond tribute band.
It'll be so good, so good, so good. How about that one?
And you don't have to go to Sweet Carolina for it.
They'll probably play that. I mean, and they'll have the crowd singing out, ba, 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 and all that. I first heard that at a football game at Wisconsin, where they did Sweet Caroline. That was the first time I ever heard the interaction with the crowd. Neil Diamond is still alive, and I think he's got to be 85 or so by now. You would think. And he certainly put out some great music. Great musician too. Yeah.
84, born 1941.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a pretty good guess. 84. I assume he's pretty well done playing, right? I would assume he's pretty well retired. So I bet if he had a concert in Grand Rapids, they could pretty much pack the Van Andel. Popular guy.
Apparently, the last album he released was in 2020, a greatest hits thing with the London Symphony Orchestra.
London, huh? Wow, that's interesting. You had to go all the way to England. Wow. Well, that would be fun. I would like to hear that band. That would be fun. Wow, look at this. July 30th, 1863, in the middle of the Civil War, Henry Ford was born. Founder of the Ford Motor Company, wanted to make cars affordable for the middle class, and he did. They came in one color, black, He worked for the Edison Electric in the 1890s, had prior business failures, was good with cars. You know, that's a very interesting line, Alex. Number one, you have prior business failures because a lot of people that were failures, pick themselves up and do well. I mean, take a look at me. You make a bad forecast someday, you got to come back and do the same for the next day. Wow. Model T of 1908 revolutionized transportation and made him rich. Believed in a 5-day work week. How about that? Well, I have, how many Fords have I owned? 5, I think, over the years. I have one now. Very good car. Very much appreciated. I have when I was ready to give up one, or when I had one stolen from me, I went out and got another Ford. So very interesting.
Very interesting. Got to be persistent.
That's for sure. Aw, a beetle, and it really looks like a beetle, like a ladybug. July 30th, 2003, the last classic VW Beetle was built, manufactured by Volkswagen from 1938 to 2003. And of course, we
lasted from the regime, which you two would get pretty mad at us for saying the name of, all the way to 12 years past the German reunification.
Yeah, that's true. Through the Second World War and everything, they just kept on turning out Beetles, huh?
Yep. 21.5 million produced.
That is huge. I don't know if I told you about this, but we had a VW Beetle that was detailed up, and it was the weather bug, and we drove that around for, golly, I could probably dig up a picture of that. There's a picture of the Terry DeBoer and I used it a lot. We were just real fans of that. Craig James was like 6'3.5", and he didn't fit in it very well, so he didn't use it very much. But I used to drive it to football games, and downtown Grand Rapids, the Children's Museum let me bring it up on the sidewalk there for a little bit, and the police did too. I got permission for that, for one day to show that off to all the kids.
21.5 million, enough to give every man, woman, and child in Michigan too.
That's true, because our population is about 11 million, isn't it? Wow. Yeah, that was a great car. We had a lot of fun, and it went well in snow. I was really surprised that I had an event to go to, and there was a snowstorm, a really big snowstorm on the southeast side of Grand Rapids, and I took the weather bug, and one of the other meteorologists, I won't say who, from a different station, was supposed to be there and never made it made it really late because they kind of got stuck in the snow, and my VW Beetle was just rolling right along, banging through the snow drifts. Very cool. Neat car. My advisor in high school drove a VW Beetle, and so that would have been 65 to 69.
And a 50-year anniversary of a famous event in Michigan.
Wow. Yeah, well, you don't remember that, but I do. That was the first year I was at WZZM. The Teamsters union leader disappeared, and he has never been found. And there's all these rumors like he's, buried in the end zone of a football field or something like that. He went to a meeting at a restaurant in Detroit, in a Detroit suburb, and was later seen in the back of a vehicle. He was never heard from again and declared dead in 1982.
I think he found D.B. Cooper.
Yeah, pretty much. That was Jimmy Hoffa, by the way, and there he is. Yeah,
that it is.
Teamsters were truck drivers and various other union leaders. They were quite a formative bunch back then. But yeah, and DB Cooper's another one. Talk about unsolved mysteries. He was the guy that jumped out of the plane in Washington State.
Yeah.
Never heard from again. Interesting. Wow. All right. July 30th, 1947, this Austrian bodybuilder was born. Yeah, he was, I know, first sentence, and I know who it was. I think most of you do too. He was elected governor of California in 2003. And
That's Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. And long name here. He looks pretty good there. How old would he be now? You said he was born in 47, so he'd be in his upper 70s now. Yeah, 47.
That would be his 78th birthday, I want to say.
78, maybe. Yeah, 78.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I remember a line, I think it was from True Lies, where he's explaining to his family about what he really does. He's this international spy, and his daughter asks him if he ever killed anybody, and he just nonchalantly goes, "Oh yeah, but they were all bad." Still remember that line. Okay, hope he has a great birthday. Challenge question: who is the longest serving U.S. governor of all time? Now, just reading that part, the first thing that comes to mind is John Engler from Michigan, because John Engler served 3 terms. I think he was in office for 12 years. I even remember his opponents. He beat Jim Blanchard, the first, and that was, I remember Peter Jennings being shocked that there was an upset in the governor's race in Michigan. So we had him, and then we had Howard Woolby, and then we had Jeffrey Feiger, the trial attorney, and Engler won all 3. I ran into John Engler at the Amway. Was it last year or the year before? Probably the year before. And just friendly guy, just walking into the hotel. Okay, hints. He was from Iowa. Was he a Republican? Is that what the R stands for?
Yep.
And served from 1983 to 1999 and 2011 to 2017. All right. I might, let's see. I know that the current governor is a Republican, and it's a she, and her last name is Reynolds, and her first name escapes me.
Her predecessor,
who was also a Republican, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was a Democrat in there before 2011, and he became agriculture secretary, if I'm not mistaken, right? 2011 or 2017. It was a Brandstrait or something like that.
Branstad. And it was ambassador to China.
Does he look slightly like me? He's got a little bit of an extra jowl there, but he's got a mustache and glasses similar to mine. Terry Branstad.
Counting both tenures up until the until his resignation for the nomination. He's been in the Iowa governor's seat for 22 years, 4 months, and 13 days.
Wow. That's, it's kind of interesting. Some governors can serve like 3 terms, and some just 2 terms. And
Virginia has a funny one where there is no term limit, but you can't serve consecutive terms.
Right. And isn't a term like 6 years or something like that?
It's 4 across the board.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Virginia was different because they kept moving back and forth. Mm-hmm. That's another state that goes back and forth between Republican and Democratic governors.
They had Terry McAuliffe run in 2017 and win. Then 2013 and win. Then he had to retire for 2017. Then he tried again for 2021, losing to current Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin.
Yeah, Youngkin's a tall guy. Isn't he like 6'4" or something like that?
I think.
Wow. July 20, 1999. This movie was released in theaters. It was a low-budget independent horror film and sleeper hit. It was filmed in the Greenway Trail on Seneca Creek in Maryland. Okay, now I'm beginning to, if I can remember the name of this. The plot is the footage of 3 filmmakers who went missing. The movie was critically acclaimed, and increased popularity of the found footage concept for films. All right, I'm going to come up with this. I know it. Okay. Yeah, it was three. Were they teenagers?
I believe so.
Young people, and they're making a film, and then bad things start to happen. 1999. That was 26 years ago. Oh, I know it is. That's the Blair Witch Project. Was that right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yes, and that it's like they're putting a flashlight in this lady's eyes, and she's talking, and that was one. It's one of those movies that just makes a lot of money. That people come into it and they're broke and they get their movie. Another one was like that was My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And that was pushed by Tom Hanks and his wife. The two of them said, "Hey, this will make a great movie. We ought to do the movie." And I think the movie cost like $5 million to make, and it earned like $200 million or something like that. They actually did a sequel to it. John Scully, that is a very nice picture. That's from over along the lake. He's between Grand Haven and Holland. Between Grand Haven and Muskegon. But
interesting visual of the sun going through one of the masts there.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's like the New Year's Eve ball drop in New York City, where it's going to kind of slide down the mast.
It does kind of look like that.
Slightly off center. And John Doherty sent us another pretty picture of a beautiful flower. I'm beginning to think that, where I was in Canada, we wound up in Vancouver, and then especially Victoria. Victoria puts something like, many thousands of hanging baskets, and they're all absolutely beautiful. The mild climate out there means that they'll look good for a long time. It's cool. They don't get too many hot days out there, so it's kind of interesting. But Benson County is the same way. It's got water to the west of them. It kind of modifies the climate just a bit. But really pretty picture. And John, I want to thank all of you for submitting your pictures to us. We really appreciate that. And there's a picture of me from like the 1800s, I think. No, that is a picture of me at WCZM, probably close to when I first came. We wore those tan coats, and you can see a balloon lapel pin. That was for the eyewitness balloon, which was called Sky Witness. And the wide tie that I've got right there, they let us wear non-white. When I first got there, the first couple of days, everybody just wore white shirts, and everybody kind of said, let's mix it up a little bit. So we kind of did. I had the thick plastic glasses at the time, and hardly a hair out of place with my hair over my ears. That's what TV was like. The Alden fax machine, we printed off literally dozens of weather maps every day and hung them up, and we could compare them by lifting the first map up and comparing it with the one underneath it. Really pretty cool. All right, we've talked a long time here. Thank you, Alex, for helping us out, and thanks to you for staying with us all this time. I had a great vacation, but it's good to be back. You can join us at billsteffen.com, and you can check us out on YouTube, my channel there, Bill Steffen 616. Have a great day. Hopefully, if you need some rain, you'll get some.